Live from Florida, Superstation WTBS presents Atlanta Braves Baseball. Braves Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Delta, the airline run by professionals. Great service. That's the Delta spirit. And by Toyota's exciting cars and trucks for 1985. Toyota invites you to see them at your local dealer. By Canon, so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. And brought to you by Kroger. Feel the difference. Go Krogering. And by CNN and CNN Headline News. Braves Baseball is a production of TBS Sports.
The Braves have taken the field. Pete has the starting lineup.
Okay, Ernie, for the New York Mets, it'll be Wally Backman leading off and playing second base. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Howard Johnson. Keith Hernandez will hit third at first base. Gary Carter in a New York Met uniform hitting cleanup, doing the catching. Darryl Strawberry in center field today, batting fifth. The number 6 hitter will be the left fielder, George Foster. And the lower third of the order will have Danny Heap in right field, followed by Ron Gardenhire at short, and the starting pitcher, Ron Darling. For the Atlanta Braves, Rafael Ramirez will lead it off and play shortstop today. Paul Zavella hits number 2 at second base. Brad Kaminsk batting third in left field. The cleanup hitter will be center fielder Dale Murphy. Claudel Washington will bat fifth in right field. Chris Chambliss at first base, hitting sixth. Ken Oberkfell gets the start at third base today, batting seventh. The number 8 hitter will be the catcher, Bruce Benedict. And on the mound, Rick Mahler. We work with 3 umpires today. At the plate, it'll be Dana DeMuth of the National League. At first base, Terry Tater from the National League. And over at third, National League veteran Harry Wendelstedt. Defensively, the infield of Chambliss, Zavella, Ramirez, and Oberkfell. Outfield left to right, Kaminsk, Murphy, Washington. Bruce Benedict doing the catching, and on the mound, Rick Mahler. Mahler so far this spring has a record of 0-1, an earned run average of 5.54. He's had one bad outing. Facing Wally Backman, hitting .238 for the spring, and taking a strike, we're underway. The Mets have won 5 and lost 6 in spring training. The Braves are right at 500, 7 wins, 7 losses. Chambliss will handle it. Mahler will cover. 1 down. Now third baseman Howard Johnson. He and Ray Knight involved in a battle for the starting third base job for New York. Mets acquired Howard Johnson from the Detroit Tigers for pitcher Walt Terrell. Switch hitter with some power. He had 12 home runs, drove in 50 last year for the Tigers. So far for the spring, just 1 for 19. Ray Knight not doing much better. He's only 3 for 24. Here's the 1-strike delivery, and the fastball missed. It's 1-1. Mahler's last outing, he worked 6 innings. He may go that long again today. As we move closer to the start of the regular season, these pitchers, especially those that will be starting pitchers once the season begins, go a little longer each time out. 2-1 the count on Howard Johnson. And the count goes to 3-1. Many people picking the New York Mets to win the Eastern Division this year. The acquisition of Gary Carter gives the Mets a very solid everyday lineup. Right to the shortstop, Rafael Ramirez. He bobbles it, and he'll not be able to get Howard Johnson. That'll go as an error charged to Ramirez.
Batting third, playing first base, number 17, Keith Hernandez.
Many times Ramirez has the most difficult time when the ball hit right at him. you make some circus play, and that was an in-between hopper that he didn't play well. If he'd have picked it up on the first try, he might have gotten it, but he didn't.
Now Keith Hernandez hitting only 130 for the spring, 3 for 23. The Mets have not hit well as a team all spring, but that's not expected to last. Hernandez takes a strike, 0-1. Keith had another fine year last season, hitting .311 with 15 homers, 94 RBIs. Lifetime Major League batting average of an even .300. Johnson back safely. Just a perfect day for baseball. A little bit of a breeze blowing out toward left field. Looking at the starting rotation the Braves expect to have once the season starts, they're really only settled on 2 positions in that rotation. Rick Mahler will have one. Pascual Perez will have one. Len Barker, they hope, will have one if he continues to progress. The 0-1 to Hernandez, misses inside. Craig McMurtry battling for a spot. So is Rick Camp. So is Zane Smith.
Barker's been working on a changeup, and he's been throwing it quite well. He pitched in a game in the minor league system this morning against the Richmond Ball Club. He was throwing the ball well.
The encouraging thing was he got 5 innings in, which is the longest he's gone this spring.
And Bedrosian yesterday pitched a couple of innings, and although he gave up a run and threw a lot of pitches, he pitched better than he did his first time out. And Eddie Haas's concern, of course, is how is his arm the next day, and I understand it was okay today.
Felt fine today. Yeah. Here's the 1-1 to Hernandez. That's down the right side foul. I don't think anybody has a play on it. It'll drop out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. A lot of foul territory here at Municipal Stadium.
The outfielder should note that last ball. It came back a ways. Very unusual for the wind to be blowing out here, but right now it's blowing out, and it would favor a right-handed batter.
Another sellout crowd. Well over 5,000 here. This game, in fact, has been sold out for a couple of weeks.
Seventh sellout.
Here's the 1-2 to Hernandez. It missed high in the count, 2-2. The Mets open their season at home on April 9th against St. Louis. Braves will open on the road April 9th in Philadelphia. Johnson back safely. The runner going on the 2-2. It's drilled to right center field. Murphy coming over, won't get to it. Base hit. On his way to third is Johnson. And the Mets are threatening with runners first and third. 1 man out.
It's a soft line driving right center field, and the wind brought it back toward Murphy, but not far enough. It just died. It was a slow curve that was hit that way.
So the Mets have a threat with runners first and third. 1 man out for Gary Carter. Carter hitting .389 for the spring. He has 1 home run, a couple of RBIs. It's going to take a little time to get used to seeing him wearing something other than a Montreal Expos uniform. Here's the 1-strike delivery, and the curve grounded toward third. Up with it, Oberkfell. There's 1 at second. Zabella on to first. Will not be in time. Scoring from third is Howard Johnson. The ball wasn't really hit that sharply. So give Gary Carter an RBI as the Mets take a 1-0 lead.
I thought they were going to get the double play. For some reason, Zabella got nothing on the ball to first base. He threw a lollipop over there. It might have been slipping around in his hand.
Now Darryl Strawberry hitting .360 for the spring. He has a homer and 4 RBIs. The middle of this Mets order with Hernandez, Carter, Strawberry, and Foster. That's about as formidable a middle of the batting order as any team in the National League. A ball and no strikes on Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry playing center field. Mookie Wilson's been bothered with injuries all spring. When Mookie's healthy, he plays center, and Strawberry moves to right.
Yeah, Wilson's shoulder's been bothering to the extent that he's played only when they played American League teams, and he could be the DH. He's hitting about 400, but they hope that he'll be ready on opening day.
2-0, the count on Strawberry. 1 run in, Carter at first, 2 outs. High and deep to right field. Washington going back, looking up, and says goodbye. A 2-run homer for Darryl Strawberry, and that makes it 3-0 New York. That is Strawberry's second home run of spring training.
Okay, we mentioned the wind was blowing out. This looks like a let-up, and it is a change. And Strawberry's so strong that he didn't even need the help of the wind, but he got a little bit. But it's more of a help to a right-handed batter. It's now a 3-0 game.
And the batter is George Foster, who's having a good spring. 345 with a homer and 5 RBIs. A bit unusual for George Foster this year to be hitting number 6 in the batting order. Nothing and 1 the count. Since moving over to the New York Mets, Foster has really never had the kind of year that he used to have with Cincinnati. That'll drop for a base hit. And that is the 3rd hit of the inning off of Rick Mahler. He's getting hurt on that off-speed pitch. The batter will be the right fielder, Danny Heap.
Most of the time he's hurt on his off-speed, it's up, and I think some of these have been a little high.
Heap at 429 for the spring. One ball, no strikes. 3 runs are in here in the top half of the first inning.
All runs are unearned. There was a boot by Ramirez.
That evens the count on Danny Heap. 1 ball, 1 strike. Heap, once the regular season starts, will serve as a man off the bench for New York. He can play first, the outfield, good pinch hitter. Two and 1.
What did Mahler say when he passed this while he was going down to warm up? He said,
say good things about me.
And I yelled, on television, radio is different, but on television it's right out there.
This should end the inning. Paul Zavella backing into shallow right field. And that retires the side. But the Mets strike for 3 first-inning runs, and we go to the bottom half of the first. New York 3, Atlanta coming up.
The pitcher throws a high, fast one, and pow! You guessed it. The crowd's hysterical. The champagne corks are popping. But that's in the movies. And this is real life.
Kirk Douglas hosts Baseball Behind the Scenes at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS, Wednesday.
A look at the Mets defensively. The outfield has Foster, Strawberry, and Heap. Around the infield, Johnson, Gardenhire, Backman, and Hernandez. Gary Carter doing the catching. And on the mound, 24-year-old right-hander Ron Darling, a 12-game winner for the Mets last year out of Yale University. He has not pitched well this spring. In 2 outings, he's given up 7 runs and 11 hits in 7 innings, but the Mets are not concerned. Rafael Ramirez leads it off for the Braves, hitting .207. And he takes the fastball low, ball 1. It's been interesting to look at Eddie Haas' lineups on the days when Milt Thompson has not played. He has tried a lot of different people in that leadoff spot in the order. Ramirez, Perry, Waddell.
Interesting move is the fact that when Hubbard doesn't play, Zavella, who's normally a shortstop, has been playing second, and Hubbs had some problems with his throwing arm.
Toward right where Danny Heath waits, and he takes it one down.
So it looks like if Hubbard can't play, Zavella could be your second baseman, the way he's been played here in spring training.
Second base number 18, Paul Zavella.
And here is Paul Zavella, hitting .281. Mostly a shortstop in the minor leagues, but he has played some second. He has played some third. And he takes a strike from Ron Darling, 0-1. Glenn Hubbard looking on from the Braves dugout, along with Gene Roof. Braves still have 34 players in camp, so 9 players need to be cut by opening day. Ron Darling out of Yale University, where he was quite a scholar as well as an athlete. And Zavella caught looking as that fastball caught the outside corner for out number 2.
Batting third, flank left field.
Let's watch it. See Carter shifting on the outside corner, and he hit him right in the middle of the mid.
Now the left fielder, Brad Kamensk, hitting .282 for the spring. Besides Gary Carter giving the Mets another very valuable bat, he will really help this young pitching staff that New York has. It's a very good pitching staff, but not much experience on it. A catcher like Carter can only help. 2-0 the count. Now the 2-0 on the way. That missed down and away, ball 3. Darling does have a tendency at times to walk a few too many hitters. High down that left field line. If it's fair, it's out of here. Let's watch it. George Foster watches it. It's fair. Long gone. Brad Kamensk with his first spring training home run. That makes it a 3-1 ball game. That ball landed on the infield on that back diamond.
That didn't need any help from the wind either, but as we mentioned, it is blowing out, and you'll watch Kamensk get a fastball right in his wheelhouse, and what a nice follow-through, just like a golfer, and hit it into the infield of a practice field behind left field. There could be more here today if the wind continues to blow that way, but the wind didn't help that one a bit.
And here's a guy that could hit one, Dale Murphy. .286 for the spring. He's had 1 homer, 4 RBIs. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. The Braves trail 3-1. Darling got the fastball by Murphy, 1-1. Murphy, 29 years old. 2-time MVP in the National League. Two and 1 the count. Got the outside corner, 2-2. The Mets train over in St. Petersburg on the other side of the state. They make a swing over to this end of the state every year. They played Montreal here yesterday. Now the 2-2. Got him with a breaking ball. Darling records his second strikeout, and that's it for Atlanta in the first. The Brad Kamensk home run. And at the end of 1, it's New York 3, Atlanta 1. Ron Gardenhire leads off the second for New York. He's batting .333 for the spring. Took the first pitch for a ball, drills the next one into left field. Comments coming over. He'll have to play it on the hop in for a base hit. That's the 4th hit off Rick Mahler, and again he got that breaking ball up. That'll bring up the pitcher, Ron Darling. Mets had a little controversy in their camp earlier this week. I believe it was Wednesday. 4 different players missed the workout and the game because of personal business, including making television commercials. Davey Johnson didn't care much for that. Held a little meeting and said from now on, the baseball comes first.
Yeah, I think Carter flew to New York for a commercial,
Yes, he did.
and Dave quickly laid down the law.
Darling squaring, bunts it foul.
I believe there's a pitcher by the name of Ken McKenzie. I think that's the fella who pitched for Casey Stengel when he managed the Mets, and he came from Yale. And he was having an awful time in the major leagues. I'll continue in a sec.
Again, Darling squaring, taking.
Well, McKenzie is having an awful time getting major league hitters out, and Stengel didn't know what to tell him, so he finally went out to him and said, "Why don't you just pretend you're playing the Harvards?" I don't know if it helped or not.
Old case.
They've come a long way since those early Met games, haven't they?
Boy. A memorable team, that
Yeah.
1962 Mets team. Here's the 1-1, bunted. Mahler will field, Zavella will cover. And down to second goes Gardenhire.
Number 6, second baseman, Wally.
So with 1 man out, a runner at second, here's Wally Backman, who in the first inning grounded out to first. Didn't hear much about Backman last year, but he very quietly put together a pretty good season. He hit .280.
Stole a lot of bases. 32.
Former #1 draft pick of New York from Hillsboro, Oregon. High in the air, deep to left field. Comments going back. It's up in that wind. It'll be off the wall in left. Scoring will be Gardenhire, and down to second base with a stand-up double is Wally Backman. That makes it 4-1.
Maybe we can get a shot of this flag after this base hit. The wind really grabbed it and took it out almost. Well, it, I believe, hit the fence right at the base. He doesn't hit the ball normally that far, but he's got some help here today. Flag is starched and left.
Now Howard Johnson, who reached on the error by Ramirez in the first inning. 5 hits now off Rick Mahler. Nothing and 1 the count on Johnson.
There you see how hard the wind is blowing to left.
That is unusual to have it blowing out in this ballpark. It almost always blows in. Into shallow center field. Ramirez is not going to get to it, and around third with Wally Backman, he will score, and that makes it 5-1. So the Mets continue to hammer away at Rick Mahler. Hit number 6 off Mahler. And Keith Hernandez will be the batter. Hernandez had a base hit his first time. In spring training games, you'll very often see a pitcher not doing particularly well, but staying in the ball game, because the object down here is to get the innings in, get the work in. They want Mahler to go about 5 innings today. But he has struggled in these first 2. Zavella will field. His only play will be on to first in time. Moving to second, Howard Johnson. Out number 2 in the inning.
Number 8, catcher Gary Carter.
And that'll bring up Gary Carter, who hit into a force play in the first inning. Carter's off-season home right here in West Palm Beach. Nothing and 1 the count. 5 runs, 6 hits for New York. 1 run, 1 hit for Atlanta. We're in the top half of the second. Sharply, but right at Zavella. And that ends the inning. But the Mets pick up a couple of more runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 at the end of an inning and a half. It's New York 5, Atlanta 1.
Beginning Monday on CNN, veteran news correspondent Reed Collins joins the CNN Morning News team. From Atlanta, Pat Harvey, Patrick Greenlaw, Marianne Laughlin, and Bob Kane bring you all the news of the morning. Plus now, Reed Collins adds the latest word from Washington on Daybreak at 6 a.m. Eastern and Daywatch at 9, only on CNN.
In the bottom of the second, it'll be Washington, Chambliss, and Oberkfell due up against Ron Darling, who has a 5-1 lead. Claudel at 280 for the spring. He has a homer and 2 RBIs. One ball, no strikes. Braves as a team have really not hit that well this spring. The pitching has been pretty good. One and 1 the count. Now the 1-1 from Darling. Got the breaking ball by him, 1 and 2. Now the 1-2 offering. Missed upstairs, 2 and 2. Look out. Full count, 3 and 2 on Washington leading off the second. And he lost him. That's the first walk issued by Darling. And it brings up Chris Chambliss. Chris having a good spring. He's hitting .292. He leads the club in RBIs with 6. Actually tied for the lead in RBIs, and the man he's tied with is Gerald Perry, the man he's trying to beat out for that first base job.
Perry's hit 3 homers this year.
0 and 1 the count. Chambliss taking a look down at third base coach Bobby Wieren. We're in the bottom half of the second. Braves down by a 5-1 score. Nothing and 2 now on Chambliss. Rick Camp, who's scheduled to be the second pitcher today, already throwing down in the bullpen, so maybe Mahler will just work 1 more inning. Count still 0 and 2 on Chambliss.
Sometimes they just count pitches, and Mahler's had no shortage of pitches so far in the first 2 innings.
1 and 2. Darling delivers a curve that missed inside, ball 2, 2 and 2. We mentioned Darling from time to time does have control difficulties. He walked over 100 men last year. 104 walks, 136 strikeouts. Now the 2-2 is fouled away. Darling working a little more deliberately with the runner on base. Deals again the 2-2, and he misses outside, and that fills the count on Chambliss 3-2. Well, we'll see if Eddie Haas has Claudell Washington running on this 3-2 pitch with nobody out. Hernandez holding him. He is going in the 3-2, grounded by third baseman Howard Johnson. Base hit left field. Washington will move around to third. So Chambliss continues his good hitting.
Chris knocked in a couple of runs yesterday. I believe this pitch is away from him, and it is, and a good job of hitting. He went the other way and hit it just out of the reach of Johnson. First and third, and nobody out.
Now Ken Oberkfell hitting only 136 for spring. Nobody out. Infield at double play depth. 1 ball, no strikes. Oberkfell at third today. Bob Horner continuing to progress. They're now looking at maybe getting him into a game sometime during the next week. And the count on Oberkfell goes to 2-0. Two and one. Claudell Washington, your runner at third. Chris Chambliss at first. Nobody out. Braves down by 4. And the 2-1 delivery is drilled into right field. If that stays fair, it's in for extra bases. It'll roll to the wall. Washington scores. Chambliss being waved around third. He will come on home. And in at second with a 2-run double is Ken Oberkfell. That makes it 5-3.
When Oberkfell is hitting, he hits between first and second on the line, and that's just what he's done here. It's a double down the right field foul line. He's had several hits that way this spring. Washington trots in, and Chambliss has to put forth more effort to come all the way around from first. And we've got ourselves a ball game, 5-3.
Still nobody out here in the second inning. Here's Bruce Benedict batting just 105 for the spring. And he takes high and away, ball 1. Bruce battling with Rick Cerrone right now for the starting catching job on the club. Cerrone has begun to hit pretty well. He's picked up 5 hits in his last 2 ball games. 2-0 now on Benedict. And that missed ball 3. Darling falling behind the hitters here in the second inning. Gary Carter out to try to settle the young right-hander down. Mets got 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second. Braves picked up a run on the Brad Comens Comer in the bottom of the first. They've added 2 here in the bottom of the second, and still nobody out.
This is spring training. He might let him swing, even though it's 3-0. We'll see.
We'll never know. On 4 straight pitches, Benedict walks, the second walk of the inning and of the game, given up by Ron Darling.
Here's where you want the good bunt. And a little more difficult because they can get a force. at third base. But Mahler normally bunts quite well.
Hernandez in on the grass at first. Johnson in a step or two at third. Mahler is squaring, gets the bunt down. It'll be a good one. They'll go to third, and they've got him. Ron Darling played that perfectly. He pounced off that mound, got to that ball in a hurry, and had a relatively easy play at third base.
Well, Oberkfell, it just has average speed, and you're always afraid of the force if the bunt isn't perfect. And it took that big bounce, and now the fastball to third, and Oberkfell is out with ease.
So there's one away now. Runners remaining at first and second. It's now Mahler at first, Benedict at second, and Ramirez at the plate. Rafi flying to right his first time. That almost backfired.
Yeah. But this is a place where you work on everything. I mean, you got to practice them down here. You can't practice them during a game, during the regular season.
0-1, the count on Ramirez.
Doesn't seem possible. 2 weeks from Tuesday, start for Rio.
Against the Philadelphia Phillies. And we are sure that the weather in Philadelphia the second week in April will be just lovely.
Oh, yes. We've been guaranteed of that.
1 ball, 1 strike on Rafael Ramirez. Didn't get the breaking ball. 1-2. Darling has a good curveball. At one point last season, Darling reeled off 7 straight victories. He didn't have as strong a second half of the year as he did first half. The curve is drilled down that left field line. Foster is not going to get to it. Another run will score. Benedict trotting home, heading for third. Rick Mahler, the throw to third, gets away from Howard Johnson. And into second goes Rafael Ramirez. It's 5-4.
This is a little looping fly ball right down the left field foul line. Foster didn't have a chance. Benedict scores easily. Mahler was chugging around from first, and he put a hook slide in the third and got in there. They're going to tell him to whistle now, Rick.
I don't know how they'll score that, whether that'll be a single to second on the throw or a double. Give Ramirez an RBI. 4 hits now off Darling, and here's Zavella, who struck out his first time. One ball, no strikes. Once again, Gary Carter out with a word for Ron Darling. This is something that will drive a manager crazy when you get off to a big early lead, and your starting pitcher gives those runs right back.
The starting pitcher's not too crazy about it either.
Still only 1 out in the inning. Didn't get the breaking ball. 1-1. Five runs, 6 hits for New York. 4 runs, 4 hits for Atlanta.
Pete, they gave him a double. Ramirez.
Here's the 1-1. Hit slowly toward short. Gardenhire's play will be to first in time. Rick Mahler scores from third. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Gives Zavella an RBI.
Number 36, left fielder Brad Cummins.
Now Brad Cummins, who hit a long home run to left his first time up. He's the 8th man to bat in the inning for Atlanta. Two and nothing the count. Darling has started off almost every hitter getting behind 1-0, 2-0. He's walked 2 men in the inning. And the count now 3-0. On 4 straight pitches, Comments down to first with walk number 3 of the inning and of the game off Ron Darling. And that'll bring up Dale Murphy, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Murphy ended the first inning by striking out. Mets manager Dave Johnson looks a little concerned, doesn't he? That's the one worry the Mets have this year. They feel they're going to have a good hitting club. They feel they're going to have a good pitching staff, but it's such a young staff, they're not really sure. Dwight Gooden, Sid Fernandez, Ron Darling, 3 of their starting pitchers, all really in only their 2nd year of Major League Ball.
And they traded Walt Terrell in the deal that got them Johnson.
Slowly toward third, Howard Johnson will let it roll, and it will stay fair. It's a base hit. The run scores, and the Braves have taken the lead. An infield single for Dale Murphy.
Braves got a few things going for him here in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's one of them. A top roller. The only play that Johnson had was to let it roll and hope it hit a gopher hole. It didn't.
So give Murphy an RBI. The Braves have scored 5 here in the 2nd inning. Now lead at 6-5. And here's Claudell Washington, who started the inning with a walk. The runners lead from 1st and 2nd. And once again, Darling misses with his first pitch. Now the 1-0. Didn't get the breaking ball, 1-1.
We're just zipping along, huh? Already the bottom of the 2nd.
Here's the 1-1. 2-1 the count.
Do you count pitches in spring training, too?
Yeah, I do.
Can you count that high?
It's going to take a while to add these up. Into left center field. Strawberry coming over. Can get it in for a base hit. Around third is Comments. He will score. Murphy heads for third. And the Braves lead it 7-5. Well, this is good to see because the Braves, up until yesterday, really have not been hitting at all. They scored 9 runs yesterday and have scored 7 already here today.
Boy, what a pitch he hit. Down and away. That proves that just because you can get it down and away, you're not always going to get them out. Washington went down and got that ball and hit it right where he wanted to, left center field. Here's Comments scoring.
Now Chris Chambliss, he had a base hit earlier in the inning. One ball, no strikes. Murphy and Washington are your runners. 2 men out. That evens the count, 1-1. Chambliss, the 11th man to bat here in the 2nd inning for Atlanta. Now the 1-1. Line drive, left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. In to score is Murphy. Washington stops at second. It's 8-5. And the Braves are feasting here in the second inning off Ron Darling. Mel Stottlemyre, the Mets pitching coach, out to try to settle the young right-hander down. There is no one working in the Mets bullpen. Ed Lynch is scheduled to be the second pitcher for New York today. Braves have scored 8 runs, and they've had 7 different people drive in those runs. Ken Oberkfell stepping in now, had a 2-run double earlier in the inning.
Number 24, third baseman Ken Oberkfell.
Chambliss at first, Washington second. One ball, no strikes.
Darling had given up 7 earned runs in 7 innings, so his problems continue. That's an ERA of 9 coming in.
That evens the count, 1-1. Darling has thrown 43 pitches in this inning alone. This should end the inning. Darryl Strawberry waiting for it in center field. And that is out number 3. But a big bottom half of the second inning for Atlanta as the Braves score 7 times. And at the end of 2, it's Atlanta 8 and the New York Mets 5.
I'm Tom Seaver for the Sporting News with a great offer for you. Act now and we'll send you the sporting news beginning with baseball's opening day and covering the entire season right on through the playoffs and the World Series. You'll capture the excitement of baseball as only the Sporting News can deliver it. It's the one magazine that gives you no-nonsense details of all major and minor league action, the ins and outs, and the inside stories that help make our national pastime so great. Act now and take advantage of this special baseball offer. And here's a friend to tell you how.
You'll get 30 issues for just $12.99. That's less than 44 cents an issue. That's 2 for the price of 1. You can't get a lower price anywhere. To subscribe to the Sporting News, call toll-free 1-800-257-1234. That's 1-800-257-1234.
Isn't it nice to see a baseball commissioner with fans?
Yes.
He's got them. We're in the top half of the third. Darryl Strawberry leads it off for the New York Mets. Darryl hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. 8-5 Atlanta. One ball, no strikes. Pete Van Wieren, Ernie Johnson with you today. Skip Carey and John Sterling off on basketball assignments. Count goes to 2-0. This might be Mahler's last inning. Rick Camp up again in the Braves bullpen.
He's really laboring.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, and he walked him on 4 straight. That's the first walk issued by Rick Mahler, and it'll bring up George Foster.
Left fielder George Foster.
He had a base hit his first time up. Foster now 36 years old. Hit .269 last year with 24 homers, 86 RBIs. 1 ball, no strikes. 8 runs, 7 hits for Atlanta, 5 runs, 6 hits for the Mets, who are only in the third. Strawberry back safely. Runner is going. Benedict's throw down to second base will not be in time. Stolen base for Darryl Strawberry.
Benedict's throw, as you see Strawberry break. Benedict's throw on the third base side of second. Strawberry in ahead of it. You can see where it was fielded. Strawberry last year stole 27 bases, so 6'6" youngster can run too.
And the count on Foster goes to 2-1 as Rick Mahler continues to struggle. Now the 2-1 delivery, grounded sharply right at short. They've got the runner trapped. Ramirez heading right for Strawberry, throws to Oberkfell. Now to Zavella. They're having trouble catching Darryl Strawberry. Now to Ramirez. And Ramirez will put the tag on him. 6-5-4-6 if you're scoring. Down to second base goes George Foster. When you execute that play perfectly, you do it with 1 throw.
Yes, it was bad base running by Strawberry, but he managed to stay in the pickle long enough to get the hitter down to second base, so they're just about the same as they were before.
One
they
man
are
out.
the same, although Foster doesn't run as well as Strawberry.
Danny Heap popped to second his first time up. And the count 0-1. Braves leading it 8-5. We're in the top of the third. That'll be out of play. 0-2 the count. We have a lot of Mets fans here today as well as Braves fans. Mahler ready now for his 0-2 pitch. Just missed 1-2. George Foster down at second with 1 out. He waited nicely on that change, didn't he? Foster around third, heads. Nope, he's going to be held up now. He started home. Then had the brakes applied by Bobby Valentine. And down to second on the throw home, Danny Heap. That was a good job of hitting.
We mentioned Foster not being as fast as Strawberry. Strawberry scores on that base hit to center field. There was a slow curve, but Murphy hustled in and Valentine held a runner at third.
Eddie Haas out to the mound now. And I think we're going to get a pitching change made here. That is something you don't very often see in spring training. You very seldom see a pitcher lifted in the middle of an inning. But Rick Mahler has obviously been struggling out here this afternoon, so he'll be replaced by Rick Camp. So Mahler will leave after working just 2 innings, make it 2 1/3 innings. He's given up 7 hits, 5 runs, has runners at first and third. And Rick Camp will enter the game, and while he gets ready to face Ron Gardenhire, we'll take time out for this.
This low-scoring telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta Braves and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves and the Turner Broadcasting System, is prohibited. The announcers for this event are employed by the Turner Broadcasting System.
Rick Camp making his 4th appearance of the spring. He's worked 10 innings, given up 4 runs and 16 hits. He's walked 5, struck out 4. has a win and a loss. And he'll face Ron Gardenhire, who had a base hit his first time. Runners are at second and third, one man out. 1 ball, no strikes. Foster and Heap are your runners. Two and 0 the count. Camp not sure yet what his role will be on the pitching staff this year. He might be used as a spot starter, he might make the rotation, or he might be in the bullpen. Two and 1 the count. See, the Braves still have 13 pitchers in camp, so 3 pitchers need to be cut.
I believe Davy Johnson might start the season with only 9 pitchers and then bring up a youngster in May. That was the latest report.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. And the count goes to 3 and 1.
You might ask why, but many pitchers, or I should say managers, early in the year with off days and things of that nature, feel that they can get by with fewer pitchers.
3-1 to Gardenhire, hit toward short, backhanded by Ramirez. His throw will go on to first. It pulled Chambliss off the bag, but he tagged the runner. Scoring from third, George Foster. That makes it an 8-6 ball game. Holding at second, Danny Heap.
Number 44, pitcher Ron Darling.
Raffy took a look at third, and that almost cost him. He threw the ball a little wide, but Chambliss went out and got it and tagged the runner coming by.
So 2 outs in the inning now, and here's the pitcher Ron Darling. Had a sacrifice bunt his first time. Foul back on 1. Rick has worked a lot this spring on his curveball, which he started to use a little bit last year. He really feels that helps him because primarily before coming up with that curve, he was a 2-pitch pitcher. He had a sinker and a slider. Sharply hit again toward short. Ramirez up with this one cleanly. And that's it for New York. But the Mets pick up another run on 1 hit, and they leave 1. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's now Atlanta 8 and the New York Mets 6. The official newspaper of the Atlanta Braves is the Braves Banner, and your first issue will include a feature on Brad Kamensk, an in-depth player profile of Steve Bedrosian. To get the next 9 issues, send $8.95 to Braves Banner, P.O. Box 89162, Atlanta, Georgia 30312. Bottom of the third, here's Ernie.
Benedict over first and just foul. A soft line drive that just missed the chop. 0-1. Benedict, one of the stars, and Behind the Seams, which will be aired Wednesday, coming up at 8:05 on the Superstation. You'll enjoy it. WTBS. It's narrated by Kirk Douglas. We all viewed it last night as Ted Turner was host of a big party. Board of directors down for the weekend. Pitches inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Benedict walked and scored the first time up, and the 1-1. A little bit low, 2-1. And the 2-1. Foul away. Ruby Lucas is down. She's on the board of directors. The widow of Bill Lucas, Bill Bartholomew in town, Dan Donahue, just to name some of the fellas.
A guy named Turner came too.
Yes, Mr. T. Janie along. Just a great party last night. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Toward third, Howard Johnson. He's got to have a lot of nicknames and a lot of stories, doesn't he?
I'm sure he does.
Number 37, pitcher Rick Camp.
Here's Rick Camp batting in the 9 spot. Mahler was up once, reached on a fielder's choice. He tried to move the runners with a bunt and forced a runner at third.
I'm sure Rick is thinking about getting one up into that wind.
Yes. Oh, and 2. Braves scored 7 in the second to go out in front. It's now 8-6. Darling obviously going to be allowed to pitch more than another inning. No one warming up as yet. 2-2. Tomorrow we come to you from Vero Beach. 1:35 against the Dodgers. We'll be televising 2 games next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The Cardinals and the Orioles right here from West Palm Beach. That's a strikeout. Tomorrow's air time is 1:30 Eastern Time.
Number 16, shortstop Rafael Ramirez.
That's a 3rd strikeout by Darling. He got 2 in the first inning. Now Ramirez, who flied to right and doubled in a run in the second. On 1. One ball and strike. Another sellout. The 7th sellout here at West Palm for the Braves this spring. Toward short. Gardenhire. And Darling has his easiest inning. We played 3. It's 8-6 Atlanta. Probably more than any other sport, you'll see families at baseball games enjoying the beautiful weather as Backman bunts up toward first, but it's foul. The Braves have lost only 1 game to the weather. That was Thursday. No balls and 1 strike. There's the tee package. Backman, Johnson, and Hernandez are the first 3 to face Rick Camp here in the 4th inning. One ball, 1 strike. The first game between these 2 clubs this spring. Now the 1-1. Bunted. Going to be a tough play. Safe. Zavella made a pretty good play. You try to get it by the pitcher. He did that, and he's got a base hit.
You can run like Wally Backman can and get that bunt down past the pitcher. You've almost got a guaranteed hit. Really, Zavella did well to make it as close a play as it was.
Howard Johnson reached on an error and singled in a run. One and 0. Hernandez is next.
Ed Lynch has started to throw now in the Mets bullpen.
Benedict wants the ball away. You can see by the indication he put down the one finger, then he moved it to the outside part of the plate. That means give me the fastball away. He wants it out there again. You try to keep a changeup or any breaking balls away from left-handed batters with a runner at first, because if it's hit down that way, Chambliss hasn't got a chance. There's a lot of thought that goes into each pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby Valentine coaches third and Bill Robinson first for Davy Johnson. Hit foul, pass first. The Mets have scored in each inning. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Atlanta got 1 in the first, 7 in the second. There have been a couple of homers hit, one by Strawberry and one by Kamensk. 2-1 pitch, hit up by first, but foul. The Mets last year finished 6.5 games out of first. They were right in it to the end, fighting the Cubs for the pennant. They finished 6.5 games back in second place.
They've got their fans excited. Their home opener already sold out. Earliest they've ever had the home opening game sold out. It was sold out about 2 weeks ago.
They got a few excited last year, too. I think they ended up with 1.8 million, an increase from 1.1 million the previous year.
The only guy in New York's not excited is George Steinbrenner.
Yes.
With all this Mets success.
George does not like to be second. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To first. Chambliss to second. 1. Back to first. 2. Beautifully done by the veteran first baseman, Chris Chambliss. To Ramirez, back to first.
This is one of the tougher double plays to turn. First to second and back to first again. But Chris makes a good throw. Gets back to the bag, and Ramirez gets it right back to him.
One of the reasons it's a tough double play is sometimes a runner gets in your way when he's running from first to second. You've got to be very accurate with your throw. You hit him in the back. Here's Hernandez with 2 down. On the outside corner, 0-1. Hernandez singled and grounded out. Now an 0-1. Foul away. Sinker miss. That's fouled off to the left. Count will stay 1-2. Hernandez knocked in 94 runs last year. Along with a .311 batting average, he had 15 homers. He's always been one of the best pure hitters in the National League. Many good seasons with the Cardinals.
And a very steady hitter, too. You almost never see him in a batting slump. He starts out around 290, 300, and he just stays there all year.
Here's a 1-2. It's even, 2-2. We're already in the top of the 4th. And the 2-2 up the middle. Gonna have to hurry. That'll go as a base hit. Zavella leaped, but couldn't get much on it, and threw a 1-hopper, and Hernandez beat it.
Sort of falling away from the bag at first when he made the play. That was one reason why Zavella couldn't get anything on the throw. It took a little bit of a bad hop, a high hop, right as it got to him.
Carter renewed old acquaintances yesterday. The Expos and the Mets played. The Expos won the ball. The Mets won the ball game on a base hit by Ray Knight. But Carter made statements like, "Can anybody see a knife in my back?" He's heard some bad comments out of the Expo camp saying that he was kind of disrupted the clubhouse with his attitude and all for himself and not for the team. You know, I never heard much of that during the years he was playing there, but we don't know everything, of course. But yesterday, everything was cordial around here, according to the reporters. The Mets, of course, feel that they have really came out on that deal with Montreal. They've got themselves one of the best catchers around. They had to give up some youngsters, but they still feel that they came out on top in the trade.
That's one of those deals where you kind of sacrifice the future for the present. They gave away a couple of outstanding young players that they normally would not have traded. But to get a player of Carter's caliber, you do that.
Yeah, Professor, you know, when you think you can win the pennant, if you get one player, you got to go out and get him. And that's what they did. Sometimes you can acquire a superstar, and it doesn't make any difference because you're going to finish maybe, instead of finishing 4th, you might finish 3rd. But when the pennant's on the line, then you make that deal. Got a pretty potent offense in there, and remember, we're not including Mookie Wilson yet because his shoulder's been bothering him, and Ray Knight is not playing today. So they can throw some bats at you. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, a runner at first. It's 8-6. Atlanta, top of the 4th inning. Now a 2-2. That was close, brother. See how close it was.
This was the curveball that Camp's been working on. Looked pretty good, didn't it?
Boy. Runner will be going. Ball 4, 2 on and 2 out.
Number 18, center fielder Darryl Strawberry.
Mahler went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits and all 6 runs. This is Strawberry. Hit one halfway to Boca Raton first time up. There was 1 runner on. He walked in the 3rd. Youngster gets $1 million a year for the next 5 years. In fact, there might be a shade over $1 million. They're going to defer most of it so that when he retires, he'll have to struggle by on $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
The era of the big salaries has really hit baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But he's one of the bright young prospects. Knocked in 97 runs last year, 26 homers. He should be around a long time. Hernandez and Carter out there, neither very fast. And that's pretty low. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Camp delivered in the dirt.
The comment that struck me the day after Strawberry signed that big contract came from Mets general manager Frank Cashin, who told Darryl, if you have 5 good years, there'll be a lot more money down the road. That's after you just signed a contract for about $6 million. There's more down the road if you have some good years for us.
2-2. Boy, that was close. You wonder how he laid off. A tight fastball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the runners will be off. Benedict raising his fist, and that's a sign. 3-2. And they're going to be going. Let's see how far they go. You can fake back there. 3-2. Time call. Strawberry got tired of waiting. Here's the 3-2. They're loaded. George Foster.
Number 15, left fielder George Foster.
A recent article in the Sporting News stated that George Foster has financial problems. Makes a couple of $1 million a year, but there are some problems, and it was a big article about selecting the proper agent to handle your affairs. And the Mets now are trying to get George straightened out.
I guess he was the victim of some bad investments.
Can happen. Popped him up. That should be handled by Zavella. And it is. So Rick struggled, bent, but did not give in.
America's team is preparing for something big. The Braves take on the Dodgers live at 1:35 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS Sunday.
NBA basketball tonight. Boston at Washington. Airtime will be 7:35.
Skip Carey will be along with John Andrews to tell you all about that game.
Here it's an 8-6 game. Atlanta, bottom half of the fourth inning. There you see the boys in pink.
Number 18, second baseman Paul Zavella.
Zavella leads it off. Bob Korch from our publicity office came down today. Brought us some information about the yearbook. Pitch to Zavella is low. The 20th anniversary issue of the Braves yearbook is now available through mail order for $4.50. That includes postage and handling. So if you'd like the new yearbook, the 20th anniversary, just send your $4.50 to Braves Yearbook, Post Office Box 4064, Atlanta, Georgia 30302. Zavella's been up twice. He struck out and grounded out. That ball is tacked in left center, but it's going to be caught by Foster. A well-hit ball by Paul Zavella, but Foster going to his left caught it. Now Brad Comets, who homered in the first inning and walked in the second. If you want to know how other teams are doing in the exhibition season, we're going to tell you. A lot of interest. There's a drive to right. Got just enough of it. Base hit. Comets 2 for 2 now. That one might have broken a bat, but he's big and strong. Toronto got off to a 9-0 start in exhibition play. They're now 10-3 in the American League. The White Sox have won 11 games, lost 5. California's 7-3. The Tigers, the world's champs, are 9-5. Seattle is 3-8. The Yankees have won 5, lost 8. Those are some of the American League teams. Pitch to Murphy. Ball low. In the National League, Cincinnati's playing well, 9-3, as are the Dodgers, and we play them tomorrow. Dodgers 9-3. The Cubs 11-4. Giants are 8-5. The Braves are at 500, 7-7. Pittsburgh's having a long spring training. They're 1-8. San Diego is 3-8. Some of the National League standing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside corner, says Dana DeMuth. Murphy struck out in the first and singled in a run in the second. He topped the roller to third and beat it out in a run score. We want to wish Bobby Cremens and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets all the best. They play this afternoon at Georgetown, I believe around 4 o'clock. Boy, what a year they've had. 2-2. Cummins runs well. He's at first base. Popped him up. That is a mile high. Cummins is coming back. Second sacker. Wally Backman finally made the play. Hernandez called for it first. Then the wind picked it up, and Backman made the catch.
Number 15, right fielder, Claudell Washington.
Claudell Washington, who's walked and singled in a run.
Something a little different down the Braves bullpen right now. Rick Mahler, who struggled early in this game, is down with pitching coach Johnny Sain getting some more throwing in.
I'm sure he went to John and said, hey, that was just awful, and let me work on my control here. Or it might have been Johnny Sain that said, hey, Rick, you were awful. He was wild. Mahler's a control type pitcher, and by wild I don't mean he was walking a lot. He just made too many fat pitches. Got his breaking balls up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Darling has struggled all afternoon. He's given up 8 runs on 8 hits, but Dave Johnson wants to get his work in, and I believe this might be his last inning. Ed Lynch has been throwing in the bullpen.
When Darling completes this inning, he's going to be up around 90 pitches. That's a full afternoon's work.
That's a game sometimes. If they send comments, Eddie Haas might be just wanting to see how well Carter's throwing this year. 2-1. If you get a rookie catcher in there, they'll start to run because the manager wants to see the strength of his arm. Along the line, but foul to left. There's your standing room only crowd. So we'll have between 5,000 and 6,000. Let's watch comments. Darling is. Chambliss is on deck. He's going. Pitches outside to throw. He's safe. I don't think Carter got much on that, did you? Threw it to the left side. Didn't have the old zipperoonie on it that he usually does.
He had very little on that throw. He'll get rid of it quickly, but just not much on it. Ball kind of sailed on him.
Yeah. Now a payoff. Well hit, but knocked out and throws him out. Backman did what you're supposed to do. He kept his body in front of it. It was sharply hit by Washington. We now go to the 5th. It's still a 2-run lead for Atlanta. Danny Heap leads it off. It's a 5th inning. Camp came on in the 3rd. That's a base hit to left.
He'd be a starter in a lot of ball clubs, Danny Heap. He's a pretty good hitter. With the Mets, he's limited to a reserve role.
Gardenhire the batter. Here's 1 for 2. Had a single in the 2nd. Grounded out in the 3rd, but got an RBI. Runner going. Oberkfell has 1 play. Here's Rusty Staub. That's why you hear the ovation. He'll be 41, April 1st. One of the all-time fine Major League pinch hitters, but also in his day when he could play every day, one of the fine hitters in the Major League, Rusty Staub. Boy, and he chokes up on that bat. Looks like he's using about half the bat. But he can use it. 0-1. Not too much sun now, Mama. He'll one. Look at that. Right off the boards, he singles to center. We've got an 8-7 game.
This is what he does so well, coming off the bench for New York. Right back where it came from. And we'll get a pinch runner now. Jose Oquendo will run for Rusty Staub.
Oquendo at first. Staub gets a nice hand. It's always a question whether Staub will play another year. Many times they take him off the roster. Then they say, you want to play? We'll put you back on.
They did that this past winter. They took him off the 40-man roster to make room for some of their youngsters. He'll be there opening day.
Here's Wally Backman. Strike call. 1 out of 8-7 game. There have been 19 hits and 15 runs, and we're in the 5th inning. The wind continues to blow out. One ball and strike. Now a 1-1. Hit fouled on the left side. Well, we hope that Tom Jenkins, a good friend, is resting comfortably at St. Joseph's Hospital in Atlanta. He had heart bypass surgery recently. He'll get good care there. 1-2. Just missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good fans here from all over. People here from Stone Mountain, Douglasville, coming down to watch the Braves. 2-2. Well hit, but Murphy should catch it, and he does. A line drive off the bat of Backman, but right at Murphy.
Number 20, third baseman
Now Howard Johnson. Tomorrow the Dodgers at 1:30 Eastern time. Some of the senior citizens come here as soon as the gates open. Watch batting practice. Really make a day of it. Some even bring their lunch. It's a good outing. 1-0.
Players get to know some of them. They come out every day, every year.
Pete Scorpett and the staff do a good job here. They've worked hard because there have been so many sellouts. They do it gladly. 2-0. WCGY radio is going to carry our games this spring in West Palm. Kurt Gowdy and the gang, Jim Connor and the staff will be providing baseball to the area. There's a base hit over first. First and third. Howard Johnson with a single over first. Boy, Wild and Woolley, we got one here today, folks. That's a 20th hit Here's Keith Hernandez with 2 down. The tying runs at third. Hernandez is 2 for 3. Zavella makes a nice play. That'll end it. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 1-run lead. 8-7 Atlanta.
There's a conference on the mound. What are these guys talking about?
I just don't want you to lie to me if your arm's bothering you. It isn't. Look me in the eye and tell me
it's not, honest.
Swear it's not bothering you?
Swear it's not.
Doesn't hurt you.
When a guy is on the phone in the dugout, who is he talking to?
Listen, we got me and Watson and Royster. We need a bucket of chicken with some biscuits. No beans.
Kirk Douglas hosts Baseball Behind the Scenes at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS. Wednesday.
The Mets have a new battery. There's a catcher, Clint Hurdle. And the pitcher's Ed Lynch. Just signaled for his changeup. Chambliss will lead it off. It's an 8-7 game. This is the 3rd appearance of the spring for Ed Lynch. He's worked in 1 A game and 1 B game. He hasn't given up a run in 7 innings.
Number 10, first baseman, Chris Chambliss.
Lynch last year was 9-8. He doesn't overpower you. He tries to out-finesse you. His ERA was 4.50. That's a little high. Chambliss 2 for 2 with an RBI. Then he scored a run. One and all. Quite a story on Clint Hurdle. He looked like he was going to be a superstar for Kansas City as an outfielder a few years back. Now he's struggling to hang on as a catcher for the Mets or anything, just as long as he stays. He was at Tidewater last year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Towards center field. Strawberry. Well, can he catch up? He can. Boy, speed helped him. Chambliss gave it a ride up into that wind, and Chambliss thought he might have had it over his head, and I did. But look at the speed.
It's tough to play the outfield today the way that wind is blowing out. And you see Strawberry just keep going back and going back. He didn't think when that ball was first hit it was going to carry that far.
You get it up in center field over toward left, and you get a chance. Here's Oberkfell. Doubled in 2 in the 2nd, then flied to center in the 2nd inning. Well hit, but foul. Look out, Bobby Dews.
He almost ducked right into that. Go the other way, Bobby.
He should have had the mini midgie cam.
If he was wearing that, he would have been in serious trouble.
Would have hit him right in the head.
What a shot, though, for television.
Yeah. You can only do so much for TV. 0-2. Watch Horner take batting practice today. Still swinging the bat well. Well, 2 weeks from Tuesday, it all counts, we open against the Phillies at Philadelphia. Then on the 12th, we open against San Diego at home. That's a Friday night. Still seats available for the opener, but they're going well. We advise you to get yours in advance. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped him up left side. Can anybody catch up? Whoop! Gardenhire and Foster with Strawberry coming on. And the ball just dropped. I believe Foster might have touched it.
The way the wind is blowing, you have to play deep in the outfield, and a ball like this is a very difficult ball to get to. Wasn't hit high enough, really, to get it up into that wind.
Gonna go as a pop fly double. The Braves pick up their 9th hit. The Mets have a dozen hits. Benedict looking for his first. He had a walk. 1-0. Oberkfell at second with his second hit of the afternoon. Both doubles. Well, the Cleveland Indians were dealt a blow. Andre Thornton, who's their RBI specialist. Boy, he's a good player. It appears that he's going to have knee surgery. They don't know when he's going to return. Andre Thornton. 2-0. Off the end of the bat. Backman. 2 down, a runner at third. And heavy hitting Rick Camp comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Rick got a little better as a hitter last year. See what he's got that career average up to now. All the way up to 62. Closing in on 70.
.062.
062. But he hit 111 last year. That was his best single season batting average.
He tries to set him up once in a while by missing the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oberkfell at third. That's a strike. And that's a strike.
Nice swing.
Camp waved at the wide breaking curve. We've completed 5. Thank you for joining us on Braves Television. It's 8-7 Atlanta. We're going to the 6th. Here's Pete.
Thank you, Ernie. Clint Hurdle led off the inning and jumped on the first pitch from Rick Camp, drilling it into center field. So Hurdle on with a leadoff single. That is the 13th hit in the game for New York. And here's Darryl Strawberry popping the first pitch foul. Down toward the Mets bullpen. Ken Oberkfell getting a chase. Tom Gorman, number 29 for the New York Mets, was just sauntering down toward the bullpen. And all of a sudden he heard Ken Oberkfell's footsteps. Watch him try to get out of the way here.
A down and outer. Like a defensive back, didn't he?
He almost ran right into the ball, too. Nothing had won the count. High and deep to left center field. Up in that wind. Comments going back. Murphy going back. It's off the wall. Hurdle will round third, head for home. Strawberry heads for third. He'll go in with a triple, and we've got a tie game. There you saw some of the off-field power of Darryl Strawberry.
As we've mentioned, get it up in the air from center field toward left, and you got a chance. And this ball almost got out of the ballpark. Let's see where it hits. It was right around the base of the fence at the 375-foot mark.
Third RBI of the day for Strawberry. We've got an 8-8 ball game now. 14 hits for New York. Nobody out in the inning. The infield is playing in now for Atlanta against George Foster, who has singled, reached on a force play, and popped to second. 1 ball, no strikes. Slowly toward third. It's a foul ball. Might have broken his bat. 1-1 to count. The Mets got 6 runs, 3 earned off of Rick Mahler, who gave up 7 hits, and they've picked up 7 more hits off of Rick Camp now. We've had 23 hits in the ball game. We're only in the top half of the 6th inning. One ball, 1 strike on Foster. That's fouled back. That sounded like I went into the Mets radio booth right next door. See if everybody's okay over there. 1-2.
I don't know if we warned them.
Sounds kind of quiet over there. Oh, no, there's Bob Murphy's voice. Now the 1-2 pitch, didn't mean to, right back to Camp. He'll hold the runner at third, and Foster is out at first. Mets sending this game back to New York on radio. Bob Murphy, who's been the Mets broadcaster since the very first year of their existence, joined this year by newcomer Gary Thorne, who did the game for the main guides of the International League last year. Here's Danny Heap with a couple of hits and 3 at-bats. Infield stays in. One ball, no strikes. Infield in tight all around. And the count even up on Heap, 1-1. Crowd of 5,817 on hand today. It's another sellout. The ballpark seats exactly 5,000, so we've got almost another 1,000 standees. 2-1 now on Danny Heap. Camp delivers and misses, ball 3. Now the 3-1 pitch. Line toward left. Comments coming over. He'll make a nice running catch out there. Tagging his Strawberry. He'll go back. Good play by Brad Comments. He made a nice running catch and then an off-balance throw to hold the runner at third. That's out number 2.
Number 19, shortstop Ron Gardenhire.
This is a liner that Strawberry. Now watch Strawberry. See, if he had gone back to third right away, he might have tried to score, but they caught him in between. He had to go back and tag, then it was too late to score.
So now Camp 1 out away from getting out of this inning with the score still tied.
If he had to do over, he goes right back to third, because if it's a base hit, he scores anyway. And if he can score after the catch, possibly because of his speed. But he got caught about 5 feet off the bag when Comments caught the ball. Then he had to go back and touch up, and it was too late.
Ron Gardenhire with a single in 3 at-bats. Trying to get that run home from third. And the 0-1 delivery is hit high in the air, left field. Comments waiting for it out there, and Rick Camp gets out of it in pretty good shape. The Mets pick up a run on 2 hits. They leave a runner at third. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, all tied up. The New York Mets 8 and the Atlanta Braves 8.
Age-old rivalries are renewed when the world's greatest athletes of yesteryear return to the court in the Schick NBA Legends Classic. Then, who's got the right stuff? Find out when Dr. J, Michael Air Jordan, Larry Nance, and human highlight Dominique Wilkins let it all hang out in the Gatorade Slam Dunk Championship. It all begins at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS.
There's the new Braves manager, Eddie Haas, looking on from alongside the Braves dugout. He just got word, as we did, about the B game the Braves played today. They were playing their Richmond Farm Club, and Atlanta wins that game 7-5. One very good piece of news: Craig McMurtry hurled 5 scoreless innings in that game. That's really the first good outing he's had all spring. It's very encouraging. Terry Harper hit a home run in that game, and so did Gene Roof. Len Barker also pitched, was not effective. He gave up 5 runs in 3 innings, but I guess he was throwing well from our reports. Throwing with no pain. Here's Rafael Ramirez. Rafi 1 for 3 and a run-scoring double in the second. That's when the Braves scored 7 of their 8 runs. Terry Forster begins to loosen in the Braves bullpen. As the count goes to 1-1 on Ramirez. That makes it 1-2. Lynch working his second inning. Ron Darling gave up 8 runs and 8 hits in the 4 innings he worked. And the 1-2 on the way. Missed outside, 2-2. He almost went after that breaking ball. It missed outside, 3-2. Ed Lynch out of the University of South Carolina. And that's a fair ball down the right field line. Ramirez may get 2 out of it. Danny Heap chases it down, and Rafael in easily with a stand-up double. The most encouraging thing about the Braves' play this week has been the bats have come to life. Braves scored very few runs the first week or so of exhibition play.
Look where that ball was. It was outside. It was a ball, and he still got it by first base. That's why a hitter like Ramirez is tough to gauge. It's tough to pitch to him because you don't know where he's going to hit the ball. He's able to hit a ball. Sometimes it's out of the strike zone, and he just showed you that he could.
Paul Zavella 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded to short, and flied to deep left. He drove in a run back in the second when he grounded out. Braves now with 10 hits off Mets pitching. 0-1 the count.
He was going to right. He doesn't have a very good swing at it, trying to advance the runner.
Zavella, an International League All-Star at shortstop last year. Lynch deals the 1-strike pitch, fouled back. 0-2.
That's twice he's tried to go to right. A lot of hitters now will take one for themselves. In other words, they'll swing for themselves, not try to go to right. We'll see how Zavella does it. It's very difficult to go to right field with 2 strikes. There's Forster.
0-2. Nobody out. 8-8 ball game, bottom of the 6th. Went to right field again. Danny Heap there to make the catch. Tagging at second, though, and moving over to third, Rafael Ramirez. A good throw by Heap. But Rafael gets in there.
That was good team play by Zavella, and Eddie Haas will recognize it. He just kept swinging to hit the ball on the right side and picked himself up a fly ball long enough to get the runner to third. That was a good throw by Heap, by the way.
So now Atlanta with a chance to take the lead here. A runner at third, 1 man out, and Brad Cummins, the batter. Brad has homered, walked, and singled. He's scored a couple of runs, driven in 1, stolen a base. Having a very good spring. All the players on the team got their first look last night at the baseball special, which you'll be able to see on the Superstation Wednesday night, Behind the Seams. Brad Comment's one of the featured players in it, along with Bruce Benedict and Terry Forster and Bob Watson. Nothing and one the count in the dugout before the game today. Brad was thanking Bruce Benedict for letting him be a part of his movie.
Might be a couple of Oscars there involved.
0-1 the count and comments. Infield in for New York. Lynch deals the one-strike pitch. Coming back this way, out of play, 0-2. We'll be televising again tomorrow from Vero Beach, Dodger Town. Rafael Ramirez and third base coach Bobby Wieren. Here's the 0-2. Line right at the second baseman. Backman throwing over to third. Double play. Good play by Wally Backman. That ball almost knocked him over. But it's a 4-5 double play to end the inning. And we go to the seventh, still tied. New York 8, Atlanta 8.
Tonight, in America's game, the NBA. When Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics take flight, will they be able to avoid an ambush by the Washington Bullets? Then, on Sunday, the Los Angeles Lakers plan to use their high-speed offense to mow down Kelly Tripucka and the Detroit Pistons. Welcome to the big leagues, America's game, the NBA. Live at 7:35 p.m. Eastern tonight and 10:05 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on Superstation WTBS.
March 27th, Kirk Douglas takes you on a guided tour inside America's pastime with the Atlanta Braves. It's baseball behind the seams. The whole season seen through the eyes of America's team. That's Wednesday, March 27th at 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation WTBS.
Pitcher Ed Lynch leading off the seventh inning for the New York Mets in an 8-8 ball game. The one-strike delivery. That evens the count, 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way. Rick Camp entered the game in the third inning. He's given up some hits, but only one run. Make that 2 runs. He has given up 7 hits, however. Count remains 1-2 on Ed Lynch. Mets got 3 in the first. Braves came back with 1. The Mets then got 2 in the second. The Braves scored 7. And then the Mets picked up single runs in the third, fifth, and sixth innings to tie the game at 8. And it's even now on Lynch, 2-2. Camp ready for the 2-2 pitch to Lynch. Hit off the end of the bat toward short. Ramirez charging. That's out number 1. And back now to the top of the order, and Wally Backman, who was grounded out to first, doubled, singled, and fly to center. Some of the Mets fans in the crowd.
Number 6, second baseman, Wally Backman.
Backman with an RBI. Darryl Strawberry has driven in 3 of the New York runs. Backman, Johnson, Carter, and Gardenhire, 1 each. Bunted again, this time right to the first baseman, Chambliss. He got a base hit like that back in the 4th inning. But this time it went right to the first baseman, Chambliss, for out number 2. And here's third baseman Howard Johnson. Johnson 2 for 4, a couple of singles. He's also reached in an error, hit into a double play. Camp ahead in the count, 0-1. This might be Rick's last inning. Terry Forster continues to work in the Braves bullpen. As the count on Howard Johnson goes to 0-2. He wasn't too happy with that last call. And that takes care of that. A 1-2-3 inning for Rick Camp, his first of the game. We go to the bottom half of the seventh, still tied. The New York Mets 8 and the Atlanta Braves 8.
Japan, technology and tradition. Examine its prosperity, explore its future. This week in Japan, tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on CNN.
One change for the New York Mets. We go to the bottom half of the seventh inning. Terry Blocker takes over in center field.
Now playing in center field for the Mets, number 61, Terry Blocker. Blocker in center field. Your attention, please.
And leading it off for Atlanta here in the bottom half of the seventh inning will be Dale Murphy.
Valerie Rao and a group down from Atlanta. Well, a big upset, I think. Don't you think it was an upset? Oklahoma being upset by Memphis State, 63-61. Well, they've had some great basketball games in that tournament.
Been a great tournament. It really has been. Here's Dale Murphy. Murph is 1 for 3 in the afternoon. A strikeout, a single, and a pop-out. He has scored 1 run, driven in 1. We are tied 8-8. Ed Lynch working his third inning. Nothing in 1, the count on Murphy. Braves with 10 hits. The Mets have 14. Now the 1-strike pitch. Pop foul again out of play. 0-2 the count. Something I noticed about Dale Murphy. The year he put together last year had the same number of home runs as he hit in 1982 and 1983. He had a better batting average in 84 than he did in 82. Drove in 100 runs again. He put together a good enough year to win that MVP third time in a row, in the opinion of some. And he's on to lead off the bottom half of the seventh with a single. That's the 11th hit for Atlanta. Hit number 3 off Lynch. Brings up Claudell Washington, who has walked, singled, and grounded out. One ball, no strikes. Murphy at first, Hernandez holding him. Something off speed makes it 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way. 2 balls and a strike. Hurdle gives the sign to Lynch. And the 2-1 pitch. Right toward the second baseman, Backman. He goes to short 1. Gardenhire around to first in time for the double play. Taylor made double play ball, 4-6-3. So with 2 outs now and the base is empty, here's Chris Chambliss. Chris having another good day. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles. He has scored a run, driven in 1. Lynch delivers. 1 ball, no strikes. Chambliss battling with Gerald Perry for that first base job. And so far this spring, Chris has had the better average, while Perry has shown more power. Now the 2-0 on the way, and that missed, ball 3. Now the 3-0 offering. Chambliss taking all the way. It's in for a strike. Here's the 3-1. He walked him. That's the first walk issued by Lynch. And here's Ken Oberkfell. Obi with a couple of doubles in 3 at-bats. Drove in 2 runs with a double to right back in the second. Takes a ball high. Oberkfell acquired from the Cardinals last year in the deal that sent Kent Daly to St. Louis. This will be handled by the pitcher Lynch. Hernandez takes the throw and the inning's over. So nothing doing for the Braves in the 7th. 1 hit and 1 man left. We go to the 8th inning, still tied. New York 8, Atlanta 8. More NBA action upcoming tomorrow on the Superstation. The Detroit Pistons and the Los Angeles Lakers. 10:05 Eastern Time tomorrow night. Right here on the Superstation. 8 runs, 14 hits for the New York Mets. 8 runs, 11 hits for the Atlanta Braves. We go to the top half of the 8th inning. Terry Forster takes over on the mound. And here's Ernie.
Thank you, Pete. Forster, in his last outing, threw as well as Eddie Haas has ever seen him throw. It was over in the Kansas City camp at Fort Myers, and they said they've never seen him throw better.
Number 17, first baseman Keith Hernandez.
He's had his best spring in a long time. Usually he's bothered with arm problems. Forster's ERA 2.25. This is his 4th game. He's allowed 1 earned run in 4 innings. He's in a tie game in the pitch. Inside all the way to the screen. Hernandez 2 for 4. 2-0. And the 2-0 delivery fouled away. There are 25 hits so far in this game. 16 runs and 1 error. Hernandez upset because he missed his pitch. Clint Hurdle is on deck. And the 2-1. Hit foul pass first. The Mets got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, then single runs in the 5th and 6th. Atlanta got all their runs in the first 2 innings, 1 in the first and 7 in the second. Forster with a 2-2. Toward first. Chambliss, nice play. Chris made a good play. It was a little scary, but he made it.
He has always been an excellent defensive first baseman, and this is not an easy play at all. Got to play it off to the left side of his body on the short hop, coming in toward the bag. But Chris did it very nicely.
Hurdle's been up once. He lined a single to center field. One and out. Carter started the game at catcher. He went 0 for 2.
If you want to know how the game has changed in the last few years, check out Clint Hurdle. He's got the matching batting gloves and the matching wristbands.
Ooh. High into the air and right. Waddell. 2 down.
Number 61, center fielder Terry Blocker.
Now this is Terry Blocker up for the first time. He took over for Strawberry, who went 2 for 2. He had a homer with 1 aboard. He tripled in a run, and he walked on his other 2 times. Pitch to Blocker, foul away. Well, let's see what he's done this spring. He's batting .250, 4 for 16 with 2 RBI. It looks like players from both sides are going to go 9 today, or most of them. Getting to that part of spring training. Here's the 0-1. Bunted. Foul. Okay, tomorrow we move up to Vero Beach as our representatives from Forest City, North Carolina here. And Pascual Perez has pitched very well in spring training. Will go for Atlanta. And Bob Welch for the Dodgers. Airtime will be 1:30 tomorrow for Braves TV. The 0-2. Boy, that was close. We're in the 8th. Forster with 2 away. Misses inside. 2-2. Every once in a while, Forster will throw a slow curve, something he's been working on down here. Two. Well hit toward the gap. Murphy won't catch up. It's going to go to the track or to the edge of it. It'll be a double. That looked like a breaking ball up, and boy, did he hit it.
Let's check the location of the pitch. Breaking ball right out over the plate. And is not where you want to put him.
The batter is George Foster. He's 1 for 4. Now the Let's Go Mets chant. Well, a lot of Met fans. And you can mix in a Let's Go Braves.
Remember a few years ago at Shea Stadium when the Mets were going through one of their awful years. The Braves got off to an early lead. In about the 5th inning, the crowd began to chant, "Let's go home."
Going 1.
There it was.
There's a little change-up. Might have been the slow curve. Almost looked like it's slow screwball. Now the 1-1. Bounce foul. Right over Bobby Valentine, the third base coach. He was quite a player himself. Career was shortened when he broke an ankle. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A lot of people mention his name when they talk about managers of the future, too.
Looks like he's got the snuff between the little pinch between the gum and cheek. A 1-2 pitch. Hit foul. Look out, Bobby. Two outs, top of the eighth. .26 hits in the ball game. The Mets have 15 of them. And the 1-2 just outside. 2-2. Well, the last one was outside. Let's see where Benedict wants this one. Indicator set aside. Hard to pick up. It's a fastball, and he got it. Foster couldn't hold up on it, and the fastball got him. As we go out, we'll take one more look.
William Holden has a choice to make, getting married or being a cop. And just when he thinks he has his mind made up, a killer changes everything. William Holden in his Emmy-winning role, The Blue Knight. Then, what drives a man to join the French Foreign Legion? Tab Hunter and Clint Eastwood. Lafayette Escadrille, right after The Blue Knight on Superstation WTBS, Monday.
Glenn Hubbard, Luke Aplin. Checking it out. Brad Comments was alongside. The young and the old. Luke is in his 70s now, and he's really bouncing around. This is Benedict. 1-0. Braves ticket offices are open. The offices at the stadium are open from 8:30 a.m. till 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Off the end of the bat, a skimmer out to second. Backman guns him down. One away. Benedict now 0 for 3 with a walk. And if you want any information on season tickets or promotions, our number at the stadium is 522-7630. 522-7630. Terry Forster's a batter. Lifetime batting average over 400.
Well over 400.
Looks like the Bambino a little bit. Just like the Bambino. 0-1.
429 lifetime average. 33 hits and 77 at-bats.
Now the 0-1. 0-2. Ramirez is on deck. Fouled away. Missed outside 1-2. They hope Ricky Haygood, Concord, Georgia, is looking in today, he and his family, and that they've had a pleasant day. Ed Lynch has pitched very well. He now has run off 10 scoreless innings in spring training, 3 outings. Working in his 4th inning here today. I think Forster held up 2-2. One down, 2 down on a strikeout of Forster. Ramirez has 2 hits and 4 tries.
Number 16.
He's had 2 doubles. He doubled in the second, scoring a run, and a pop fly double in the 6th. Oh, and 1. Well, his wasn't a pop fly double in the 6th. His was that double that went down over the bag on a good pitch. There's a bounce to the 3rd. H.J. Howard Johnson. And that's it. We have completed 8, and it's 8-8 as we go to the 9th.
Sunday, age-old rivalries are renewed when the world's greatest athletes of yesteryear return to the court in the Schick NBA Legends Classic. Then, who's got the right stuff? Find out when Dr. J, Michael Air Jordan, Larry Nance, and human highlight Dominique Wilkins let it all hang out in the Gatorade Slam Dunk Championship. It all begins at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS.
The pitcher throws a high, fast one, and pow! You guessed it, the crowd's hysterical, the champagne corks are popping. But that's in the movies, and this is real life.
Kirk Douglas hosts Baseball Behind the Scenes at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS, Wednesday.
Wednesday,
You sat up there in the rocks and you murdered him.
he's the Widowmaker,
They gotta be in McSweens. We'll get them, every one of them.
the kid who never said die. Paul Newman is Billy the Kid,
You see, I'm a figure of glory.
the left-handed gun. 10:05 Eastern on Superstation WTBS, Wednesday.
You're looking at Danny Heap leading it off in the 9th. It foul pass first. Close to our cameraman. Heap has had a good day, 2 for 4. Zavella. One down for Gardenhire. In fact, everybody in their lineup has at least 1 hit. They've picked up 15. The Braves have 11 hits. The 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Mahler went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs, 3 earned. Camp pitched 4 2/3 innings, touched for 7 hits, but only 2 runs. Forster now working in his 2nd inning. He had that breaking ball working. Here's a 1-2. Hit foul. There's a shooter. Craig Robinson. Jack of all trades. Great batting practice pitcher. Boy, the hitters love to swing at shooter. He lays it in there with just enough on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Camp just got through running in the outfield. With all these guys out here playing 9 innings today, we might not see too many in that starting lineup tomorrow at Vero. Trying to figure out a lineup here for tomorrow's game. They sit left center. They're going to have to hurry to keep him to 1. They won't do it. Cummins came up with the ball cleanly. Well, it's an easy stand-up double. like Mookie. Mookie Wilson on as a pinch hitter. We mentioned he's had arm problems. He's had difficulty throwing, but he can swing the bat. He has not started a game, but he's played in games where he can pinch hit or be the DH. And he's done a good job of it. 7 for 17, batting .412. Strike call. Backman's on deck. A ball outside. Check that. We may have a pinch hitter. Looks like Chapman down there. Mookie's a switch hitter. That is Chapman on deck. He'd be followed by Howard Johnson. So Backman being lifted for Chapman. Curveball inside. Close. Listen to the reaction from the fans.
You can see Terry Forster really wanted that pitch, too. Watch his reaction.
Nice ball, Blue.
Pretty close.
3 balls, 2 strikes, a runner at second base. That's a tiebreaker. It's 8-8. It'll stay 3-2. Ball 4. Now Chapman. Kelvin Chapman. Batting for Backman.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting for Wally Backman, number 11, Kevin Chapman.
Batting .250. 1 homer and 3 RBI. First and second, 1 down. Down low. Steve Shields has been loosening up for the Braves.
I think the New York pitcher will be a rookie, Wes Gardner. He was throwing in their bullpen.
One out. Ball. 2-0. Gardner at second, Wilson first, and a 2-1 from Forster. Hit into left field, base hit. Throw toward the plate, not in time. Kelvin Chapman, a single to left. It's 9-8. Runners second and third, and still only 1 out.
Looked like a fastball out over the plate. And Chapman delivers at 17 hits for the New York Mets.
Scoreboard's got it backwards, but it's 9-8 New York. And they threaten to get more. Howard Johnson is 2 for 5. The 1-0. Outside.
Ray Knight has moved on deck, so he'll bat for Hernandez.
The Braves have their infield up, trying to cut the run off. That's a strike. Wilson's at third, Chapman second. Chapman took second on the throw to the plate. Now a 2-1. Towards short. They've got the runner coming in. Benedict blocked the plate, and Mookie's out. That'll be a fielder's choice. 6-2. First and third, 2 out.
Mets took a chance here. I don't think in a regular season game they would have been running in this situation. It was hit right at Ramirez. And a relatively easy play at the plate. All Benedict had to do was hold on to the ball, which he did.
The pinch hitter's Ray Knight. He's batting for Keith Hernandez as Davey Johnson goes righty against the lefty. 2 away. Knight has not had a good spring, although he won the ball game yesterday against the Expos with a base hit. He's batting only .125. Chapman third, Johnson first. And the 1-0. Hit foul off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ray Knight from Albany, Georgia. He's had a good major league career with Cincinnati, Houston, and now with the New York Mets. And the 1-1 toward third. Oberkfell is second, and the fourth. For out number 3. They got Johnson coming down, but the Mets pick up a big run. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 9-8 New York. Ray Knight is now at first. Chapman will be the new second baseman. Hurdle is now the left fielder. He moved from catcher. The new catcher, John Gibbons, and the new pitcher is Wes Gardner. And Zavella is the batter. Lynch pitched very well, 4 shutout innings. Here's a bouncer to short. Gardenhire, 1 down. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Number 36, left fielder Brad Cummins.
Here's Brad Cummins. Gardner with an ERA of 6. This is his 5th game. Gardner's 6'4", 195. He's from Arkansas. Last year with Tidewater 1-2, and with the Mets 1-1. The 1-0. Missed inside. Gardner will be 24 on April 29th. Toward left field hit. Brad Cummins gets his 3rd hit of the afternoon. Well, that sets the stage for Dale Murphy. Everyone knows what he represents. It's 9-8 with a runner on first. 1 out. Murphy with 2 hits and 4 tries. Strike called on 1. Washington on deck. Well, the Braves got their hitters up here in the bottom of the ninth. See if they can do anything with Wes Gardner. Here's an 0-1. Curveball just outside. 1-1. Their outfield now is Hurdle left, Blocker center, and Heap still in right. He started out there. And a 1-1. Low inside. Johnson still at third, Gardenhire short. Chapman at second, Knight at first. And Gibbons catches Gardner. 9-8, if you can believe it, with 29 hits. Bottom half of the ninth inning. 2-1. Low. Another bad one. The tying run's at second.